Coming up on the next episode of the Celsius Pod.
And I won most average 6th grader.
I am become Freddy. And this episode is going to be called Aiden and Nikola Have a Beef.
I hate this Nikola says misinformation arc that he's having right now.
I love spreading misinformation. Holy shit.
Har har har. Guys,
Har.
it's
Welcome
the
to 51.
FNAF special of the Celsius podcast.
My
Five
goodness.
Nights at Freddy's, 5 hours long. Okay,
Wow.
let's get into
It's
Act
true.
1, Scene 1. So we open.
Actually, I need to tell my temperature. It's 51 here.
51. Oh my
Okay.
god.
Aiden, what's it there?
Yeah. I already said
You
it.
mean
Okay.
where you are?
So
Yeah,
Act
I already
1
said it. So
Okay, Act 1, Scene 1. We open on a security guard who is trying to run away from the building. Now, this
So true.
security guard was originally supposed to be cast by Markiplier. However, there were scheduling conflicts.
Oh, we were talking about the movie
Now,
instantly. I thought we were gonna.
this
Fuck you,
builds
it's
up
fat
the
FNAF
tension of the animatronics very, very naturally, and I think is a great intro to the movie.
So true.
So,
I couldn't agree more, Beck.
Actually, you know
Aiden,
what?
do you
We
wanna
watched the
cover
movie all together.
Act 1,
I really
Scene
liked
2?
it. I liked it again the second time. Once we're all done, I'll talk about my mom's reaction to it.
okay,
can't
Aiden,
wait.
next
You know
scene
what?
you cover.
Okay, wait, Uri, say your thing first.
You know, before we get into this FNAF stuff, I feel like I feel like we should more naturally start into this episode. Maybe not like a
All
scene
right,
by
do you
scene
want us to go
breakdown. 'Cause that
to,
would-
do you want us to go over 6 hours? Because we need 5 hours for FNAF.
Yeah.
I know, I'm really
Exactly.
sorry about this, guys, but I don't think I can morally put this on my back. So let's just hear an focus story from Beck to calm
Ernie,
me
you
down.
want to hear an in focus story? I wasn't
Oh my
planning on
God.
telling one, but since you asked, I have one. So
Awesome.
today, I'm like, I actually skipped school yesterday because I was sick. So I actually just edited the entire 50th yesterday while I was homesick. So
Nice.
So I stayed home sick yesterday, so I wasn't feeling well going into like this morning. And
Yeah.
at around 8:47, I get a text saying, "You good to do announcements today?" I'm like, "Fuck."
That's why you messed up
I got
announcements so much this
announcements
morning.
today. Fuck. And
You didn't go to school and you had announcements?
no. That was yesterday. Today I woke up and I was like, I'm gonna go to school. And it's
So that's why
it's
the announcements were so
8:47,
bad
and I'm like,
today.
it's fine if I'm a bit late. But you're supposed to show up 5 minutes early for your announcements. So I'm like, oh fuck. So I have to start biking, like using all my energy. I get to school. I feel like I'm about to throw up. I biked so hard to get there.
Wow.
And then I get there, and the guy also has never done PA announcements. We're like, what the fuck do we do? So we practiced the script for a bit, and I'm like, okay, seems pretty natural. We went through it once.
Mhm.
And then the person that's like, yes, go to the phone, press this button, and then I'll tell you a code to put in. I'm like, okay,
What the fuck?
let's do this. I tap on it. I'm
Now
like,
you know it. You can prank call the school.
so I tap it. I'm like, okay, so when do we type in the code? But then there's like on the screen, there's like a timer that started saying like 1, 2, and I'm like, wait, no, we need to put the code. I'm like, wait, is this working? I hear on the speakers behind
just
me,
say,
wait,
wait,
is this working?
That's funny as hell.
Yeah, I heard that.
So I got hot mic'd in front of the entire school. And then everyone's like,
That's
oh
fucking
fuck, we have to
funny.
start it.
No.
So we have to start it.
Beck.
And-
And then we actually go through the announcement. I'm like, fuck. And like, I didn't expect it to be an echo. So some of the stuff I'm like stumbling because I didn't expect to be hearing my echo. So I end up doing the announcements and I kind of fuck up a little bit. But
That's kind of funny though.
yeah,
I mean, no, it's kind of funny. It's like really funny. Sorry, Beck.
I know.
Wait, is this thing on? Is this thing on? Is this thing on?
Is this on?
On?
So the entire school heard that.
That's
And they're
great.
like, and then they hang you for your
Yeah,
blasphemous.
Brett Klein barged into the office
I'm not
with
gonna
a
lie to you.
noose.
No way.
Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not gonna lie. Nobody
I
cares.
mean, I think it's funnier also.
Did I talk about how I was playing Game Pigeon in cooking class and Brent Klein came in and he was trying to figure out what I was playing?
Mm.
He was talking to me. He was like, "Oh, what is that?" I was like, "Oh, this is Game Pigeon. I'm playing 8-Ball." And he's like, "What's that?"
So there
And
are
I'm like,
8
and I'm
balls.
like it's
Cool.
8-Ball. And I'm like, it's 8-Ball. I'm playing, and he's like, "Oh, who are you playing against?" I said, "I'm playing against him." But he's like, "But he's playing a different game." I'm like, "Yeah, because they're not synchronized. It's like you can play in different turns."
And you get mad at you for
And then he was
not
like,
being.
and then he was like, "Cool." And then he left.
Bro.
And you get mad at you for playing a game in class.
I don't know what he was. No, because it's a cooking class.
Yeah.
And we had I think we had a sub
Nikola
that day as
did
well.
give me cookies once, and they were fire from his cooking class. So.
Can I tell? Can I tell a story from my cooking class when I took it?
No, wait! I have a quick story, Aiden. So.
Okay, I also
About-
have a
it's
cooking
about you,
class
though.
story.
So.
Oh,
We were
okay,
given
I
an
do have a cooking class,
assignment
though.
in Writer's Craft to make a podcast about a story.
Ah.
And then she's like, okay, maybe we show some examples. And like, you know, like in Google Slides, you have like those tiny previews of the other ones. I saw a
Yeah.
fucking soy jack, and I'm like, no
That one's
fucking
mine.
way.
Yeah, that's me.
And then
Yeah.
she went through. I'm like, fuck, it's Aiden Shoemaker on the slide. And I'm like, no, I think he'd be fine if you played his, but she didn't. Which
Yeah.
was sad.
Okay, can I tell you what it's about?
What is it about?
Basically in 6th grade, there was like we were learning about like mean, median, mode, all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So we did like a little quiz or like a survey where everyone made a survey question and then we all answered it. And then whoever was the most average out of everything
That's fucking
was
crazy.
like the winner. And I won most average 6th grader.
That's awesome.
That's really funny.
And I got like
That's
I
actually-
got like a thing of cotton candy. That's what it was like pointing at cotton candy.
I think that describes you
For me,
perfectly.
I'm gonna do Pampa. I want to be like,
Okay.
so I submitted 3 films. 2 of them got banned, and then I'll like, so in this film, you know,
Pampa.
I get shot, I get stabbed by a sword that was shot from a gun. So I don't know why I was
Yeah.
banned. The other one, you know, I might have photoshopped our principal in 1984. Still don't know I was banned. Like what?
Yeah.
I think it'll be funny.
Yeah, I mean, everyone liked my little story. I had people that were in my 6th grade class in that class, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I totally remember that. You won that. That's funny." Like it just like people remembered that was a thing.
Wow, you're famous.
I am famous.
All right. Well,
Anyway, can I tell my culinary arts story?
Cooking story.
Okay, so I mean, it's pretty lackluster, but there was one time that we made pretzels in the class, and we made our pretzels really fast. And
we
they were
made
really-
pretzels.
Yeah, and they were really
ours
good.
were really good.
And we ended up, I think, with like 2 pretzels each.
Yeah.
Or I think we made extra batter.
It makes
'cause
like
we had-
4 dozens. You make
Yeah.
so many pretzels.
I think we ended up with like a bunch of them. And then the group next to us didn't want their pretzels.
Oh
And
my
so we
God.
got double that. I think I ate 5 like pretzels. They're like this big. Like baseball stadium
That's
pretzels. I
good
think
for
I ate
your
like
health.
8 of those. Nah, it was fire. That's my
Yeah.
culinary arts story.
I think Nicola's teacher might be mad at me because I keep making him late to all his classes.
Why do you keep
was
making
like
him
the one
late to his class?
Like I'm like,
How do you do
Nicola,
that?
let's go to CVS. He's like, we'll be back in time. I'm like, yeah, we'll be back in time. And then we're like 10 minutes late.
And-
It's
oh my
tight.
god, how?
We went to CVS. There's a long line at CVS.
Okay, I get that, but okay.
Yeah.
Do you go during brunch?
Yeah.
Don't go during brunch.
No, because I had a prep. So I'm like,
Oh.
I'm fine. I'm just gonna fuck over Nicola. It's easy.
That's great. I love fucking Nikola.
What?
All right, Uri.
Anyway,
You have a story you want to tell?
Do I have a story to tell?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let me
do you?
think through my.
it's very unclear if he has a story to tell or not.
No. So yesterday, this isn't much of a story. It's kind of lackluster, so to speak.
Aw, man.
That's not.
But yesterday I was devastating sick. I think Beck might have gotten me sick actually.
Oh yeah, sorry, my
So-
bad.
So
Yeah.
true.
So it was devastating. I had a pounding head cold. So for, I think, out of the last 24 hours, 15 of those I've been sleeping.
That's pretty
Oh
sick.
fuck!
Yeah.
It's bad.
And so sometimes I would just wake up in the middle of the night and I was like, it's like 3:49, and I was like, fuck it, I should watch Invincible. So I watched Invincible.
Oh,
and I was
on
like,
Thursday?
then I'm gonna go back to sleep, and then I woke up in the morning, and then I said I gotta watch Gen V. So then I watched Gen V, and then I fell asleep again.
All right.
And then
Guys, I got an
that's-
insane transition. You're not gonna believe it.
What is it?
You know what came out last week?
Is it
FNAF.
Invincible?
Five Nights at Freddy's. It
Yo,
segues
Five
so
Nights at
easily
Freddy's.
from Uri's story. So,
You're right.
let's talk about FNAF, boys. Even though I have never seen it, I don't really care. But you
Alright.
guys talk about
Guys,
FNAF, and I'll ask questions.
There were
I'll be
three.
the audience surrogate.
There were
here.
three
Okay.
moments in this film I would call peak cinema.
Can I tell the one that I think is the best?
Yeah.
First, before you continue. So I haven't played the games. I don't usually watch people play the games because I'm a little scaredy piss baby, and I get scared easily. So I don't enjoy watching people play the games. I don't like thrills and scares very much. I do, however, think the lore is incredibly funny and incredibly convoluted.
Yep.
So what I do is watch Matthew Patrick Game Theory, and
True.
I watch him outside of FNAF, obviously, but that's where all of my FNAF knowledge comes from. Of course, there's a couple other things, like the most popular things, like the Living Tombstone songs or other random shit. But the one thing I wanted from the movie was Matt Pat being in the movie. Now, he said he wasn't in the movie, but he fucking was.
He lied. He's a liar.
We didn't realize it was Matt Pat in the movie until
I did.
someone said,
Really?
That's Matt Pat. And I said, what? And then here he was. And I was like, holy shit. And then he said, that's just a theory. And then I went, what?
Bro, I fucking jumped out
The
of
whole
my
theater.
seat. Like,
I know, we both did.
like the seats like lay down. I like went like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Matt Pat.
Yeah.
Matt Pat.
Like no, like
That was the highlight of the movie. I thought of that the whole movie.
she like tweeted before the movie came out. Like, I love the part when Freddy said that's just a theory. So I'm like, he's joking about it. He's not actually in the movie. But then they actually had the line in the movie. I fucking freaked out so much.
I think
So,
that was the,
I-
I think that was the hardest the audience popped off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
it
your
100% was. No, they were really loud for I Always Come Back, though.
Everyone was loud for I Always Come Back.
Okay, that's the
So I have a
first
question,
peak
so-
moment.
Oh yeah. All right. Yeah.
So I just wanted you to describe it because obviously, can you just describe the whole FNAF thing and like the movie idea for people who don't know?
So,
just
Okay.
describe
So
yeah, you explain it.
so Five Nights at
So
Freddy's.
where to begin? So essentially, William
In
Afton,
the
as a child,
1930s,
sees a
there was a
dancing bear,
circus.
and he decides,
he saw
you know
a
what? I want
bear
to make
on a
some.
unicycle.
And
Anyway,
he's like, you know what? Let's make a franchise out of that. And he makes
alright, so
himself
basically,
a suit.
the quick summary, because it pretty much follows the first game, is there's these animatronics, and you're a security guard, and you want to keep the animatronics out of your room so you don't die. And the lore is that there's children's souls and bodies inside of these animatronic suits,
Mhm.
and that's why they're like chasing
Actually,
after
talking
you.
about that, I can explain what my mom thought about the movie.
Oh,
Well, we'll talk
So
about that after. We'll
basically-
talk about that
No,
after.
because it's kind of I think it's fine if I talk about it here.
Okay.
Basically, we watch it. I'm like, I explain some of the stuff she doesn't understand,
Mm-hmm.
and
A lot of
like
it, I
in
bet.
it, she likes it, but she's like, I don't understand how the kids can control the robots. I'm like, it's their souls. Their souls are controlling it. And
They're
she's
dead.
like, yeah, but how? And I'm like,
What do you
because
mean
they
how?
can.
They're
Because they can. And
deceased
she's like,
children.
oh, so it's like science fiction. And I'm like,
it's fucking
sure.
okay. One
Yeah.
thing
And
that like
That's her one complaint.
one
Her one
legitimate
complaint is that
criticism
it's
I've
science
heard
fiction.
is the Golden Freddy stuff. Like,
Completely
It's so
just that
little.
one's completely justified though.
like, bro, like they look so similar. Like to an average person, you cannot get them to tell the difference.
True.
To
I
even
had to
us.
explain it to my mom. No, I understood it.
No, I understood it, but like it was still pretty generic
Yeah.
looking.
She's just sleeping, silly.
All right.
Okay, so it's these.
She
So it's
is
these,
alive apparently.
it's these kids in like animatronic things, and it's like a video game series, and then they made a movie based off the video game
Yeah.
series
Yeah,
with the guy from Hunger Games as like the main guy.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, I think one thing everybody has to keep in mind is that
Vanessa's really
most.
hot.
Okay, sure, but most of the lore is just fan made.
Not really. A lot of it's.
I mean, a lot of it is
also
is
accurate.
just fan theory. And this is like officially made by Scott, so this is kind
Yeah,
of.
I mean, he's done a ton of books, so there is a ton of like established lore he's done.
Yeah.
So my next question is: so I've heard a lot of different reviews on this movie. Some say it's terrible, some say it's middle, and some say it's great. So where do you guys fall
It's a
on that
mid
spectrum?
movie if you don't like get any of the references. It's a
It's
really
not, though.
fun movie if you get the references.
Yeah.
It's
If you're
really
a FNAF fan,
fun.
it's really good.
Yeah.
I think it's still good even if you aren't a FNAF fan. Like my mom liked it,
Okay.
even though she knows nothing, and I explained to her all of the lore in like a span of 5 minutes, super poorly.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well,
I'm gonna finish through the peak
After
moments.
the movie, though, I explained it after.
Oh,
the
yeah.
movie.
So
Okay,
guys,
Becky,
the
explain what's
going on.
second
Yeah.
peak moment in the film. The fuck just
Yeah.
happened? Why the fuck
I
would
didn't
you
do
do
the
He went
balloons.
like this.
I was
He
just
went like
gonna
this,
do
and that gives you
two.
balloons.
I was just
I
gonna
had
do
to
that,
do
two.
it.
that makes balloons. Those are confetti. If you do that, that's confetti.
Okay, so the second peak movie. Oh, he's fucking doing the confetti now. The
This bit right.
second peak moment. Now, the fucking balloons are back.
The second
Oh,
peak moment.
The second peak moment is so a bunch of people are sneaking in to the thing, and the animatronics are killing them. And this one
No
girl,
way.
she's going, and she approaches one of the robots, and then one of the bodies pulls her in, bites her head off. Some would call that the bite of 87.
Uri, so you're on the correct track. In the series, there are two bites. There's the bite of 83 and the bite of 87. But the popular one is the bite of 87 because
Which is actually the bite of 83, but he just called it the bite of 87.
Yeah, so there's a popular video with Markiplier where he reacts to the bite of 83, thinking it's the bite of 87 because we have no context behind it at the moment.
Yeah.
And he says, "Was that the bite of 87?" And that's the whole bit. Someone gets chomped, and then he says, "Is that the bite of 87?" Someone got chomped in the movie, and I agreed that I was gonna do this months ago.
He
When
did.
the movie was announced, I was
He
like,
did
I'm
agree he
gonna
would
do this.
months ago.
When they got bitten, I said, "Was that the bite of 87?" And it was less disruptive than the Taylor Swift movie going on in the next theater
Taylor
over.
Swift movie.
True.
Uri,
That's
Uri,
really
you do
funny.
not understand. These walls were paper thin, and you had Taylor Swift blaring right next to us. You would hear at any time, like people were like slightly talking quietly, you'd hear Taylor Swift.
There was a part in the movie when me and Beck were just singing "Shake It Off" together.
Yeah.
Really, I did not hear that.
Okay, but yeah, no. Getting back to the bite of 87, Aiden like yells it out loud. The people next to us look at him. He says it so loudly. It's crazy, but it was really funny.
I've seen a bunch of videos of people doing the exact same thing and people laughing.
Yeah.
Wrong
You should've
crowd.
filmed it.
Went
And
foul,
now,
but-
Yeah, we had-
guys, the third peak moment of the film.
Everyone popped off for this one.
Where at the end, William Afton is getting spring locked to death. He grabs the helmet and he says, "I always come back," and puts it on, and everyone goes fucking ballistic. I swear, there was more fanfare than there was in Endgame when he said his famous line, "I always come back."
There was more fanfare. I've heard more fanfare in this movie for someone saying "I always come back" than I did in No Way Home.
Yeah.
Or
No way home.
How full was the theater? Pretty full.
it was packed.
Every seat filled. This was like the Die Hard fans opening night. Well, we were previews.
Yeah, we went over.
We were previews.
Yeah,
I always come
Yeah, we
back.
were literally
The
opening
diehard fans in our theater. It was hype.
I always
off.
come back.
Pick it off.
This Mike,
Pick
Yeah.
it
this is
off.
like my maybe second best movie experience of the year. Like it was so fun.
What's the
Of the
first-
year.
Spider
what's the
Verse?
first
What's your
Spider-Verse?
best movie
Spider-Verse, like, it
experience
was
of all time?
genuinely like the best.
Which Spider-Verse showing was it? Was it
The
me, you,
first
and
one,
Lucas?
the first one, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
that
maybe it's
one.
just the Lucas and Aiden element that makes it top
The one
tier.
while I was in Europe, so I couldn't go.
Yeah, no, but like
Yeah.
seeing it the first time was insane.
I
What's the
think
next one we're doing?
we're not doing Boys in the Boat, Nicola.
No.
I
What
would not
about
do
the
it for
boys in the
Christmas, but I'll do
boat?
it someday, Nicola.
No, not on Christmas, definitely.
I don't know what our next
Well,
theater show is.
How was,
Wish,
how is the
wish,
Boys in the
wish.
Boat even going to make money on Christmas?
No, we are not watching Wish.
Me and Aiden are
Holy shit, I'd
watching
rather-
Wish.
Yeah, I'll watch
I
Wish
would-
with you.
Nice.
Okay, fine.
What?
If you guys are doing it, then
I
I'll do it
wish
too. But
Uri was
this
here
movie's
because
gonna be,
I want to do Hunger Games with him.
it's gonna be so ass. Wish is gonna be such a bad
wait,
movie.
when
I
is Hunger
know.
Games coming
The
out?
17th,
I might be back then.
maybe.
Really?
I might watch it.
If you guys
Thanksgiving break?
want to watch it, I'll watch it with you. But
I'm back
I
for
just,
Thanksgiving
I
break.
think it's gonna be
Maybe.
so
We should
bad.
do
It's
a
not
live
gonna be.
episode if we can.
We should, yeah.
I just feel like it's not gonna be worth it because it's gonna be so.
we're going to be doing it on Black Friday, so we can sell the stuff we bought.
I
Wow.
might be
So true.
in Indian Wells.
Fucking
Oh,
hell,
Nicola.
cringe.
Oh my.
Okay. What else do we have
Even
to
in
talk
Indian
about?
Wells.
Are there any other
Um,
FNAF stories?
Yeah.
I don't. I
anything.
think. Oh yeah, I wanted to say that of the game movies that have come out recently, like being like the Mario movie and the Sonic movie, I think this is the best one.
Yeah, probably.
Really?
Okay, what shocked me was how well like commercially this thing is doing. It's making way more money than I
Yeah.
thought it would. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
beat Killers
It's-
of the
it-
Flower Moon and the Taylor Swift movie.
yeah, no, it's like done better than like right now, only 2 weeks in, it's done better than like
Fire and
Shazam.
blast.
It's done better than like a ton of other movies. It's crazy.
Okay, well that's Shazam.
But like
That's
this
Shazam.
only
Max.
had like $20 million. Like that sounds like a lot, but like these movies are like 150 million normally.
I thought it was $25 million and it's made like 100 million so far.
Yeah, no, it's
You know what? You know what the budget of She-Hulk was?
225.
Exactly.
Really.
I don't, bro. It's got there's got to be something going wrong there. I don't know.
They don't have showrunners.
Yeah.
Yeah. Leave it.
But like,
They
what-
don't have a series Bible.
who gets all the money? It doesn't make sense.
It's being embezzled. It's the same as my rowing coach.
Yeah.
What?
All right.
Well, anyway, while we're on
Okay,
the topic
explain
of
to me how it costs $300,000 to build one roof, a roof that is being made out of a tarp.
I don't know.
I think.
Well, explain to me
that-
the $4 million in clocks at Palo Alto High School.
Yeah, that's
bro.
really funny.
Okay,
No,
but
no,
that's
no.
also like
I
two-way
did the
intercom and
math.
shit like
It
that.
would,
So,
it would cost more to put a gaming PC for each of these in each of these rooms than like
I mean, that's kind of what they did, though. You know, the
I don't
whatever they're
know.
called.
Like in my Red class, one of them just went off
The
randomly
Max.
as an alarm, just for no reason. They had to shut it off.
That's so cool.
Like they're just inconsistent. Also,
that's
really
really fun.
fun.
So how's the lead actor in the movie? Did he do good?
Oh, the acting was terrible.
Really?
I mean, the acting was
no,
not
they
bad.
were trying to be
No,
too
it's
serious with
horrible.
some of these scripts. Like Vanessa saying, like, they checked all the bodies, but they hid them in the suits.
No, bah, 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 bah.
And then the fucking
well,
Oppenheimer
for
like
for
shot of
people that
Vanessa
don't-
was kind of funny.
That was
Uh-huh.
really funny, yeah. But for people that don't know anything about
I
the
am
lore,
become
I think it's
Freddy.
fine. I have become.
Oh, one thing
I
is
have
that there's
become
not
funny.
enough. There's not enough Freddy in the movie and way too much Cupcake.
There's no har.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Cupcake
but
was
the
in
bunny
there,
has to fuck.
I did not consider a cupcake
The
to be like
cupcake-
a main
The cupcake
animatronic.
doesn't even have a body in it. The cupcake is just like it just has like a fucking dog in it.
Is it a dog?
It's like has a.
No,
It was like Susan. It's Chica. Chica was like Susan, and
Oh,
William
yeah.
also killed Susan's dog.
Oh.
yeah.
Hmm.
But
All right.
sounds like
That's why
It
I
was
think it was a
good.
fucking chihuahua. I'm not even
it
gonna
sounded
lie.
like it was good, but really good for FNAF fans.
Yeah, like it
Yeah.
was. I was like the lead up to it was really funny. It was really funny watching it. Yeah.
It was an enjoyable movie.
Yeah, you can
I had a
say
great
that
time.
again.
It was an
Okay.
enjoyable movie.
Yeah, you can say that again.
All right.
Let's
It
talk.
was an enjoy.
Let's talk
Next
about
thing.
You can say that
let's talk
again.
about Loki.
Didn't
Yeah.
watch it.
I watched the breakdown.
You didn't watch
the
it?
breakdown.
Bro,
I
I've
watched
been
it.
watched the last like 2.
Back we're talking
I
I
about
have no
Loki.
clue
No,
what's
just talk
actually
about it, I don't
happening.
care.
I'm just
Okay.
watching the breakdown.
Hurry, do you want to say last week's episode?
Oh
Because
yeah,
I
we
don't
have
remember
2
it too well.
weeks.
So last
Oh,
week's
right.
episode.
And then I'll do this week's.
All right, I'm gonna go some water then
Yeah, yeah,
quickly.
yeah.
Okay.
And I'll see what I understood from the 2 breakdowns I watched.
Yeah,
So last week's episode, essentially, they came at the end of
They
episode
came?
3.
for sure.
At the end of episode 3, they needed Victor Timely's temporal aura to like fix the temporal loom stuff. And so in this episode, like they bring Victor Timely to the TVA, and essentially Renslayer and Miss Minutes, they have their own plan to like I don't remember what exactly their plan is to do at the TVA,
I
but
don't really know.
I'm
It
kind
was
of
just to
confused.
restart it, basically. I think that's what
Right,
I
yeah,
understood.
yeah, it was like that. But then like Obi and Victor Timely, they have like a man crush on each other, and they find a way to create like this machine to help him fix the temporal loom while using his temporal aura or something. And Sylvie gets mad at Mobius for wanting pie. The
Yeah.
Okay, and Sylvie gets mad at Mobius for wanting pie. Victor Timely likes Coco. He gets really into it for some reason.
Hot
Then
cocoa, it's made of dead bodies. Maybe.
yeah, and then so that's essentially the whole. That's kind of like the most of the plot of this episode.
Oh, you should.
Doc,
What about
there's-
Renslayer though?
yeah, Renslayer, and she kills like the Docs and her teammates. Docs being like the former I guess hunters leaders, and Brad chooses to work for Renslayer, and Renslayer kills the entire team.
I like Brad though. That's my problem.
Brad's kind of a cool
He
character.
kind of
I
broke
think it's kind of
bad, am I right?
They did break Brad, didn't they?
They did break Brad, and so that's what they're doing. And then they're all like, you know what? Loki's all like,
Maybe
Loki's
the
all like,
Friends was the FNAF we made along the way.
So true.
and then Loki's all like, I'll fix the timeline, temporal loom. But then Victor Timely's no, I can do it because I know how the machine works. And then guess
No,
what?
he's like he has to be a hero because he was kind of irked on by the time bitch,
Yeah.
the clock bitch, because she was like, "You'll never be him,"
He'll
and then
never
she
be
becomes,
him.
and then she goes Springtrap mode, and she says, "I always come back," and then just disappears.
She does
Yeah.
do that.
Miss Minutes does disappear, and then Victor Timely, as soon as he gets out to solve the temporal loom, he kind of spaghettis the thing that we've been warned about the whole season.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, and then the entire
Have you been warned about
Wait,
that
so
the
does
entire
King
season? I
die?
wouldn't know.
Victor
Victor
Timely.
Timely.
does.
Yeah.
But like he
And
is
so then the
King.
entire
No, he's Victor Timely. Kang is the one in Ant-Man.
yeah,
But
and then there's He Who Remains.
Yeah, there's three
Also.
different guys.
So
They're
far.
variants.
Okay.
That's the whole thing about Kang is that there's just a lot of
and
him.
so then the entire TVA kind of explodes out of time or something like that.
Yeah, the episode cuts to black.
Yeah.
Gen V
And so
also
then you
did
think,
that.
oh my. Yeah.
No, cut the white, and then there was a post credit scene.
Okay.
Well-
And so that's where it leaves off on episode 4, and I thought it was overall, I would say I thought it was a pretty good episode. But
Yeah.
I think a problem with the show I kind of have, not to say it's not good, it kind of feels like a MacGuffin show, where it's
Yeah.
kind of like each episode they're just trying to find something, and then that leads to the next episode, and they're just trying to find something to get to the end of this mission. I feel like that's kind of the point of every episode, which is not bad, but it just kind of feels off-putting
Yeah.
a bit.
Okay, here's what happens in episode 5. So Loki spawns right back where he was after
Yeah.
the
Yep.
blackout, except nobody's there. And then he starts time slipping again. And he starts time slipping to random points in history. He
Just like you did in episode 1.
yeah, so he time slips to Alcatraz Island in the 50s.
Wait,
And he time
He goes to everywhere where
Shut the
his
fuck
friends.
up. You didn't even watch
Was
the
it
show.
like
Then
the
he, like,
Alcatraz Redemption with the people there?
No.
No.
Was
No.
Nixon
Becca, are you familiar
there?
with the
Was Nixon even there?
Becca,
This is
No.
Becca, are you familiar with the Alcatraz escape?
Yeah, of the three guys.
Turns out like Casey is like one of the original guys.
Oh,
It's
that's
like they
funny.
return back to their original lives on the timeline. So it turns out Mobius is like a guy who sells jet skis.
Oh yeah, I saw they did like
Yeah.
an ad with him in it for that. I
No,
saw
but
that
he
on Twitter.
wasn't in a jet ski. That's the issue.
What? No,
in
he
his scene,
sold
he wasn't actually riding a jet ski.
Mhm.
he sells jet skis.
Yeah, but the scene where he's riding it, he isn't actually riding a jet ski.
It's CGI.
Yeah, no.
No, he's riding like a different type of machine. I forgot what it is.
Mm.
Fuck you, okay? He's riding an ATV or whatever. It's still
Okay, well,
just
he said they're not the same thing, so I gotta use that.
kill yourself.
I
You didn't
watched
even
the
watch
breakdown.
You didn't even
I
watch.
watched the breakdown,
You didn't
so
even
I
watch
know.
the episode.
I know. I don't have Disney Plus because we still haven't made the Disney Plus
You need to
account.
make the
Fine.
Disney Plus account.
Can we
I
please
know.
do it like after the podcast? Like, please, finally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, FYI,
Um,
the Fortnite OG map dropped today, so we're gonna be
Yeah.
doing some Fortnite after the
Really?
pod.
Hell
I have
yeah.
to wake up at 6 a.m.
Oh, fuck.
Well, too bad.
I'm gonna stay up. I don't really care.
Okay. So Loki can time slip, and he time slips to see all his friends, but they're in their like normal lives on the timeline, and he just keeps slipping like relatively quickly, and then he slips to where OB is, and OB is like a science fiction author and like a PhD physicist.
Which is the title of this episode, science/fiction. So
very exciting. So Obi's like, hey, what if you go collect everybody and then we can find their temporal aura and then we can fix everything? And Loki's like, wow, that's a great idea. And he's like, okay, but how are we going to get to them? He's like, oh, you should control your time slip. I can't do that. How? Tempad, here's the book. And so then he gives him the book.
Did
And
they have like music playing as a montage of them all getting back together?
No, it's not a montage. Well, yes, there is a
I mean,
montage.
it kind of was.
Yeah,
There's for the
there's-
second.
There's one for Casey and what's her face.
07?
B15.
Yeah, 15.
Yeah, B15. But he collects everybody. He like has to convince Mobius. But
Yeah,
he
he's all like,
does it.
Your boys are gonna die if you don't save
Yeah.
the timeline. Because Mobius has sons, and his name is Dawn.
Yeah,
Mm.
and then he has to go get Sylvie. But Sylvie remembers who he is. No one else remembers who he is. Sylvie
Well, that
remembers.
makes sense because she's originally a Loki.
Yeah, but she's like, no, fuck you. You should go write your own history. And he's like, okay, guys, everyone go
I'm
home.
gonna do my own
And
thing.
then- But then-
Remember the write his own story for later. Remember
Yeah.
that.
Oh, he writes a book? Yo, wait, that's hype.
And
No.
then everything starts spaghettiing in Sylvie's world. So then she has a tempad for some reason, and she goes in.
It's the Kang Tempad. She always had it.
Oh, and then she goes to Loki and all the people, and she's like, "Guys, don't leave. Everything is spaghettifying." And then they can't find the actual tempad. They're like, "Fuck!" And then everything spaghettifies. And then Loki can control his time slipping. And so now he's gonna time slip all over the place.
It's about who?
And guess what, Beck? Guess what he says when he figures out his time
He says,
slipping.
I'm gonna do my own thing.
No, he says it's not about why. It's not about
It's not
what.
about why.
It's not about when.
Why not?
It's about who. It's about who.
No.
And he time slips, and then that's the end of the episode.
Well,
And
they
they
did
said,
the
I'm
Cave Johnson
gonna
quote.
rewrite my own story.
He does say that.
So essentially, I think he found the power of friendship to help him do time slips.
Yeah,
Essentially,
Here's a theory that I've seen online that I believe is that that all of Loki is going to be self-contained in a time loop,
really?
because they've been
I
doing
could see that.
lots of stuff with a time loop, right?
Yeah.
Did
Where they've
someone
had
say time loop?
Where they've
We
had
need
they've
some
had the
kind
characters
of
interact with each
detective to
other.
solve this mystery.
One that solves, what do we call crimes?
Crimes.
Yeah.
Can we
so
get
I think
solve the
it's
crimes theory on what's happening here?
So I think they're in a time loop, and that whatever Loki does is just gonna put everything back. I think it's gonna be entirely self-contained, because this
Really?
whole TVA multiverse thing is super big. Like, this is like if there was I don't know. I think if time broke, that would affect everything in the MCU, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And considering that doesn't happen, I think it just goes back.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it just loops back in on itself.
end of season
Yeah, that's
2
why I
or end of
think-
season 3?
Yeah.
I think this might
End of
be an
season
end
two.
of season 2 type of thing, maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like this show might end after season 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
And because I really don't see how much farther they can put this.
So this is
plot
the
or
first
something.
one to get a season 2, right? No other
Yeah.
Marvel show has a season 2.
So far,
Yeah.
yeah.
And they
True,
are
true,
going to
true.
keep using the TVA, I know. Like, leaks of Deadpool 3 says he's being chased by the TVA.
Hmm.
That's pretty
So-
interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
Kind of a fun plot, but it's like it's kind of like a different like sort of time loop thing or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think
I
it's
don't
all
know.
self-contained.
Speaking about season 2s, you know a show that just ended that's gonna have a season 2?
Oh, is it time? You guys done?
Gen V.
No, wait. Before we move on to Gen V and Loki, I mean for Invincible for a second, I'm gonna say that overall, I think so far I've seen Loki,
Yeah.
it's been a good season. Nothing has I think wowed me maybe as season 1 did.
Yeah, but I'm enjoying it. I like Loki.
Yeah. But I feel like I'm enjoying Loki, but I don't know how it could push into a season 3 because if it's like what else could they do with the TVA other than maybe another kind of things?
Yeah.
But
I don't
Yeah.
know. One thing I think about a lot is how this Loki isn't the Loki that we knew from
Yeah.
like
Yeah, he's dead.
yeah, I know, but I just like think about that a lot. I'm like, these aren't the same character.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. Because I think next week's episode is the final episode of the season, and maybe the show, if it does come, it'll probably come back in like I don't know 2026 or something like that.
It takes so
Mhm.
long to make these shows. It's crazy.
Did you
Yeah.
guys see that it took 10 months to do the mirror shot in one of the episodes of
Yeah,
Moon Knight?
bro. I heard that.
Which means they did it so fucking wrong.
They had to individually
should
mask out each person in every frame.
Yeah, which is you did that wrong.
You don't
do it better
do
next
that.
time.
Yeah, Euphoria season 2 came out in 2022, and Euphoria season 3 is planned to come out in 2025.
When did
What
season
does
1
this have
come
to
out?
do?
I don't know, like let's see.
Because I do remember the funniest story about Euphoria is that someone was watching in the middle of video production class, which I thought was funny. Because you have to
That's
have,
pretty
you have to have a
2019.
lot of balls to do that.
We watched
No,
the Owl
they-
House.
Okay, true.
That also requires.
People watched in my math class in
I don't know,
junior
I'm
year. People
surprised you guys
watched
didn't get
Euphoria.
bullied.
It came out in 2019.
So, oh yeah, 3-year.
You know what came out,
3-year
you know the
turnaround.
Lego movie came out 10 years ago?
But it was
came out
supposed to
10
come out
years
in like
ago?
2023.
The Lego movie.
So true.
Like literally
Anyway.
like almost on this day. When did it come out?
I don't know.
Anyway, let's talk about Gen V.
Amazon
Beck, you
knows
recast
how
released-
to do evil
Ah, sorry,
superheroes.
a couple months. Sorry, only a couple
I'm just
months.
saying
They have-
that.
Amazon
is
does know how to
true,
do
yeah.
2 good evil superhero kind of shows. So Becky, you describe episode 7 of Gen V from when we missed
Oh, is
last
he
week.
describing it? Okay.
Nicola, do you
You
want
can
to
do 8.
I can do Invincible.
I think I could probably do Invincible better than I could do
Alright,
Gen V.
can I do both
Okay.
Gen Vs?
I can do 8. I can do 8.
Right, because there's also 2 episodes. Okay, yeah, then I'll only do Invincible. I can do Invincible.
Yeah. You do 7, I'll do 8.
I mean, I just need to pull it up right now to actually remember
Or maybe no.
what happened in each of the episodes. So, episode 7, we
Really good episode.
yes. So they just got out of the mind of the blonde
Kate.
chick. Yeah. So
Kate.
Kate, yeah. And now they're like, okay, now we need to prepare for the final battle. They're developing the virus that can kill superheroes, but the main doctor's like, bro, this is not what I signed up for. So he ends up betraying Dean Shetty and giving the virus to what is seen as like the person who's good at regulating superheroes, but turns out she's actually a superhero and kills him.
She's the head popper.
Yeah.
Wow. If only they talked about that earlier in a different, in like a connected show.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll probably could explain it.
No,
more
fuck you.
thoroughly.
I'm doing it. You do the finale. So
Fine, but
the,
I'm
the
just saying.
scientist gives her the virus, so now the virus is in kind of evil hands. So not good.
Mhm, Yes.
That's
evil
bad.
hands.
And then
I think my only problem with this episode was the scene where this doctor goes into her office and he loudly yells all the exposition
he does just
about
give
the
away
virus.
all the exposition virus out loud while
He's
people
like-
are hiding under a desk.
You want me to? He's like really
You
drunk.
want
and
me to kill
increase
everyone
the
with the virus I have right here? That's not good.
No.
It can kill superheroes and it's spreadable.
And then he pisses
Drink
into
my
a
piss.
bourbon jar
Yeah.
or something. He pisses
that's
it
so
into a
cool.
bottle.
Yeah, so
I sure hope she can drink it.
so Marie
And-
and Jordan are trying to get evidence of the woods to give to the senator that so that she can take it down. They find the evidence with the virus. Then Marie goes to talk to the senator, but she finds out that the senator actually has the same powers she does of the blood control, and that she's the
No.
sponsor.
And we find out that she is the benefactor of Marie.
Did
The
people theorize that?
But it's pretty much
I don't think so.
confirmed.
You know,
Pretty
I
much
mean, it's confirmed. No, it
no,
is
no, like, did
confirmed,
people
but
theorize
Because
it when
they-
it
they
first
actually
came
have-
out? Like, you guys said you had
I don't
theories.
think so.
Yeah,
No.
no, but
No,
because
we
the
all
thing
thought it
is,
was the Dean.
yeah, we did think it was the dean, but no,
I
the
thought it
thing
was
is,
the other guy. I thought it was
Marie-
the bot owner.
Mm.
so Victoria Newman, which is not the senator, but is the vice presidential candidate for for with who we see in The Boys. She appeared in The Boys season 2. There's in the episode 7 of the penultimate episode of season 2, the Congress, a bunch of heads blow up in Congress, and then at the end of season 2 we find out she is the head popper, which meant she makes heads explode. In season 3, we find out that she's fully under Vought's control, which is the company of the superheroes, and she's a super self, and she's kind of like a daughter to Stan Edgar, who was like the CEO of the company. And so at the end of season 3, now that she's going to be the vice president candidate with the presidential candidate Bob Singer,
Yeah.
who we see in season 3, and so now. So we see her in Gen V, and then she's the benefactor of our main character, Marie. And it turns out they actually have the same powers, so Marie could actually learn how to pop heads eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, she kind of already does it.
Yeah, and so she does, which we'll
I think
see.
she might be more powerful than Newman. Because she doesn't have.
Yeah,
I think she
Newman.
might. My favorite theory is that since she can sense the Gen V, like the compound V
Yeah.
inside people's body, do you think she might be able to like rip it out of their body?
No.
I think that's what they're hyping. I think that's what they're going to hype.
Maybe.
Anyway, but Victoria, and so the dean and the doctor betrayed her. He gives her.
I mean, like, because they already had like
He gives her
Soldier
the-
Boy was able to burn it out of their blood.
yeah, they did
So I
have
feel like
that.
it wouldn't be too much of a stretch to have.
You know, I think that's something they're definitely hyping for season 2. But the doctor, as you said, Beck, gave her the virus. She explodes his head because he says he does a dumb fucking mistake. Yeah, nobody else knows about the virus except for me.
Yeah.
And then she pops his fucking head off.
I
Like,
know.
And then-
no duh, dude.
There's 3 other things. There's 3 other arcs we need to go through in this episode.
Yeah,
One.
we'll go about the Trump campaign parody, essentially political arc.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. No. So Sam.
Sam.
Basically.
Sam, the brother of Golden Boy.
He's been trapped in the woods being
The woods.
tortured by the normal people. So he like basically sneaks out and goes to like a pro superhero rally where everyone's like thinks like all the superheroes are better than regular people.
Oh right.
It's a very thinly
Yeah,
veiled
so he kinda
parody
gets
for like
radicalized
Trump
by that.
rallies.
So to think
That's
that,
the
like,
one
he's
issue I
better
always
than
have
all
with the
these other
boys
people.
universe. The issue with the boys, they're very on the
They
nose
are.
with some of their references.
So
But I think that's okay.
So he's
I mean, yeah, it's
at
fine.
the end of this, he's like kind of radicalized because like he was tortured by all the non-superhero people. He's like, yeah, fuck those guys. We're better than them.
You know, his change to becoming an extremist happens really fast. But I think it makes sense
That
for
is
his
something.
It
character.
I
does
was
make
like,
sense. Yeah.
it kind like it made sense, but I also feel
It
like
was
they
a
did
bit
really
quick.
quickly.
And then
It was a bit quick.
the other one is Kate. Is basically like the dean was manipulating me this entire time. I'm basically just gonna go kill her, and then she basically kills her. And then
so we also find out why the dean is doing all this stuff.
yeah,
Which essentially, in season 1 of The Boys, Homelander does this thing where he tries to save an airplane from crashing, but then you realize he actually lasers the controls of the airplane, and then he's not like, fuck, I can't save this. So and then he just lets the entire plane die. And Shetty, the dean's husband and kid, were on the plane. And then that's why her whole thing is. And then Kate, because she's kind of helped Kate, the dean, like learn. She's kind of freed her from her parents and kind of nurtured her as like her own child.
yeah.
And then Kate goes to confront her. Kate goes to confront her, and she says, "No, let's leave together." Because when Kate did her powers, are like she can control anyone to do anything, and then it seems like the dean actually gave a fuck about her. Like she actually cared.
Yeah.
From what her powers told her. But then the next scene, when the other students come, like Jordan and Marie,
Yeah.
they both come to her.
They do what?
No
They
way.
both come, and then like she's all like, she makes the dean kill herself.
And
And,
doesn't let
um,
Marie save her.
Yeah, because Marie could have probably stopped her with her blood powers, but she didn't let her save her. And then like it turns out, and in the end of the episode, it seems like Sam and Kate are going to be on this like kind of like I'm going to be on this like kind of like civil war of soups,
Okay, yeah.
and they're going to be on like on the evil side.
One tiny arc we just quickly need to mention on this is the other main guy. His dad had
Oh.
a stroke.
Polarity. Andre and Polarity. Yeah.
Andre, his dad had a
I guess
stroke.
he got a little bit polarized.
So true.
So his dad's in the
Um,
hospital because the magnet powers he has like ruins his brain
He-
and like
it gave him a seizure.
Yeah.
Which I think is a kind of interesting concept for this type of character, because obviously it makes sense for like someone with magnetizing powers.
And we see that it's already happening to his son as
Yeah,
well.
a bit.
Yeah. And so it wasn't. I think it was there's this really cool sequence where Polarity, his dad with the magneto powers, he is on the ambulance, and because the ambulance is made out of metal, he crushes it within his seizure state,
Yeah.
and then Andre has to push his own powers against his dad's, which is a really interesting.
I mean, definitely
fun
not as good
sequence.
as the ambulance scene in Cocaine Bear, but I mean,
That was a good
The
sequence.
ambulance scene. I remember that. That was
I
awesome.
love Cocaine Bear. It had the
Cocaine
it
Bear
had-
was
it
such
had
a
my-
good
That was
movie.
my favorite scene because it had the IKEA guy.
it also had
Aiden,
character actress Margot
you
Martindale.
infamously hated the violent scenes in Cocaine Bear.
Yeah,
It was
but
a
that one had
great
the
movie.
IKEA guy. So
Yeah,
That
and
was
so,
a great movie. I don't know why you guys
Yeah.
hate it so much.
I don't. I
no,
like
it's
it.
just me.
It's literally just
It's
Aiden that
just
doesn't
me
like
who
it.
didn't- Maybe if I didn't have to piss the whole time and my stomach didn't hurt, maybe I had a better.
Yeah.
but what I really, but I'm just saying, I think Gen V was a lot better than I thought it would be,
Definitely.
and I really enjoy how it complemented
We
The
haven't
Boys
even
and
gotten to
Logic.
the finale, Uri. Give your final thoughts on it after you explain the plot.
I'm just gonna say overall how I liked it, but let's move on to the finale actually.
Yeah.
So the finale, wow, what a finale, I would say, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So we see how the episode 7 left off, where so Kate and Sam decide to go to the woods, which is like the underground center where they're torturing all these young soups, and they release them to go wreak havoc on the campus and kill a bunch of humans and shit like that. Shit goes popping off, you know? And so then Jordan, Emma, Marie, they all try to, and Andre, they all try to stop Sam and Kate. And then, like, you kind of, the soups are trying to kill humans, I think, because, like, there's a scene where, like, one of the soups asks, "Are you a soup to another?"
No,
Yeah.
that's the whole thing.
Yeah, it's all the
the soup?
soups
And then she
killing the
says, "No,
humans.
I'm an adjunct professor." And then he, like, pops her head or something.
Yeah.
And then, so that's what's going on. And then while that's happening, a bunch of Vought
Executives,
members
yeah.
and like executives are on like the board tower trying to find a new member for the seven. And then once this shit is happening, they call Marie and say, if you can stop these people, you can become part of the seven. And then there's kind of like a moment where Marie has to choose between like what is right for like to be an actual hero or to be what Vought perceives as a hero, essentially.
I mean, to be honest, I was like thinking in her situation, she's like kind of fucked either way. She either has to kill her friends, or like she gets like prosecuted for not killing her friends. But I mean, her friends were murdering innocent people, so I do think
I feel like they should have been. Yeah,
it's like a win-win
And
if she
so-
actually just takes them out.
I think it's a very sad situation where these kind of like soups who have been forced to be in the woods for all this time now being forced kind of by a different group, by Kate and Sam. They're just kind of doing the same thing, and now they're being forced to kill more people. They're being made to kill more people, and they're all just being controlled the entire time.
Yeah.
Which I don't think Sam is realizing that he's just being controlled by a different group of people now. you
Yeah,
know?
I mean,
As much
like
as-
literally, like Kate
Yeah.
literally
Oh,
uses.
she's hot.
Yeah. I mean, she literally
then
is just
so- but
using
then-
her powers on him.
I think I just like white women. Oh wait, Aiden's gone, so you can't be like relatable.
And then essentially throughout this episode, Sam gets his like conscience by seeing like Golden Boy, and his Golden Boy is all like, "Don't do this, Sammy. Don't do this, boyo." And then Kate's all like, "Feel nothing," and then it's like, I feel nothing." And so it was just kind of a sad trajectory for his character, because he's like a character who felt so much hope, and then he has this big conversation with like Emma about like, she's so fake, and how he is not a normal person.
Yeah.
And this is what his version of normal was, and I thought that was
I
a
mean,
really powerful scene.
Kate's powers are just like fucking broken if you think about it.
He's like the Jean Grey of this universe, essentially. Yeah.
I mean, like Jean Grey mixed with Professor X.
I mean, they're kind of broken, but it only works if she actually grabs people.
Yeah,
Not that hard to avoid.
I mean, it's especially hard
Yeah.
now. Am I right?
And so they're doing all this stuff. They manage to
She's
save
so hot.
and then they manage to save these
Executives.
executives. Surprisingly, they're like the only ones who didn't get hurt. I thought the director guy was gonna get killed for sure.
No, that guy's too funny.
like-
That guy's too funny. I'm gonna put that
Yeah,
in
he's
my
too
next
important
movie.
of the character.
and
Yeah,
so
that was such a funny scene. He was like, "Holy shit! I need to put that in my next movie."
And so essentially they managed to kind of stop them for a little bit. Kate almost controls Jordan to do something, but then as she grabs her hand, Marie makes the hand explode, and then Kate's like yelling, which is a big kind of like clash to her powers, because like she needs her hands to use her powers. And
You
it's like,
also
Well, she just needs to
one,
touch
I
people,
think.
but you usually touch people
which I
with your
mean,
hand.
I think it's a good idea that she only lost one, because if she lost two, that would have been kind of annoying. I would have liked to see more of her powers, and so she can still use her powers with the one
Yeah.
hand.
I can use one hand too.
Yeah, so I think that's.
But then
Oh fuck!
But
This scene's
then-
so good.
Beck, the biggest shit of the season happens. And what I have a big problem with these kind of like some of these Marvel movies and like other MCU shows is like, why the fuck don't the Avengers ever show up? Like,
Yeah.
they have all these big ass problems, but none of like the main people in this universe shows up in these fucking spin-offs and shit like that. We don't have that. But then
Mm.
sorry. I coughed. But then our biggest boy shows up, and they mentioned him earlier in this
Yeah,
episode.
like someone
Guess
fucking
who
call
fucking
Homelander.
And Homelander shows the fuck up. And I was so happy to see our biggest boy.
I was
like
fucking
I
terrified.
love
Anthony
though.
Scar.
Like you don't
Yeah,
know
no.
what the fuck this
Yeah.
guy's gonna do when he's on screen.
I mean, yeah, that's the point of his character.
And then because they do this music when he comes as kind of like a triumphant music that has kind of like a subtle undertone of like distortedness.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
"Boo," and then it's like, and then everyone's silent when this motherfucker shows up, and he's all like, and then he says to Marie, who essentially in front of everyone has just popped off Kate's hand, and so she does seem like the bad guy at this situation.
Yeah.
Like, and then Homelander says like, "What kind of animal are you?"
But are you the same
But-
animal
and
and,
a
a
different
different
beast?
beast?
I literally wanted.
I hate that.
I wanted her.
I
I
hate
wanted her to
that's
say
the-
like
that's
a
the first
tiger or
thing.
something.
I hate that. As soon as he said that, the first thing that came to mind is I'm a different beast.
Yeah.
Because I
And
thought
then-
of the fucking. But are you the same animal and a different beast?
Yeah.
And s-
What are you talking
so-
about?
and so then and then he starts lasering Marie, and then it cuts to white, and then it turns out so how the media portrays it is that Jordan,
What is
Marie,
blood yapping
Andre
about?
and
and Emma, they attack the campus, and Sam and Kate, they are the new guardians, which
I think
At
one
first I
of
was
them
thinking,
is in
why
the
would you-
7 now. One of them is definitely in
Yeah.
the 7. So we're gonna see him in Boys
which
season 4.
do you think
No,
you're
they've
gonna see
already
them?
confirmed what the new lineup for the 7 is, and it's like 2 people that we just don't know.
Really?
Some new characters.
I don't
Yeah.
think I think this is maybe the farthest that crossover connection would go with Homelander and Butcher appearing in like
Yeah.
one in like Genevieve. I don't know if they'd ever go that far. For
We're on season
connection.
5 now. We're waiting for season 5.
No.
We're waiting for
We're
season
in
4.
season 4.
Season 4. Okay, the boys season 4, the 7 lineup.
Yeah. Yeah, because
But,
they lost 2 people. They lost Maeve and Starlight, right?
And Black Noir, but yeah, I think he might
Okay,
be.
yeah, the 2 new members are Sister Sage and Firecracker.
Wait, does that still add up to 7?
Yeah.
Wait, who else is there? There's Homelander. There's
Those are
D.
the 2.
There's A Train.
A Train.
Why is it flashing? What is
I
happening?
don't know.
There's
What the
there
fuck?
is Black Noir because I think it'll get a new guy to be
He's
Black
definitely.
Noir.
I feel like he's gonna be cloned.
Oh yeah, no.
I mean, we've seen him on set. No, we've seen him on set. We know he's
Okay,
there.
and then we need 3
So
more.
unless
So
he's,
we
like,
have
in
the
a
2
bunch
new
of
people, but who's the
flashback
last
scenes?
one?
Maybe Ryan.
Billy Butcher.
Right. No,
No.
no, they are definitely,
Maybe they will
definitely
bring
one of the
one, but I'm
Gen
not
Z
so sure.
people.
I don't think so.
I think
I don't think
so.
they'd go that far. Okay, we'll have to see. But
I think
I think
they're
if
bo-
they do it, it's really fun.
I think
if they
maybe
do it.
Kate has a chance, but I think Sam is
No,
too mentally
Homelander
unstable.
doesn't like women.
My thing is like at first
I
when
think
I
Homelander
first,
would like that though.
my thing is when I first watched it, why would they posture the obvious rogues against as the new Guardians? Because wouldn't they just aren't their whole thing is antithetical to what Homelander and Vought are entirely doing? But I'm thinking Homelander is now
Homelander
against
is
Vought.
Vought. No, he's
Homelander
Yeah.
is Vought himself.
He owns
and he
everyone at
wants to
Vought.
create this. He wants to create this new soup army, and so that's why I think he
Soup
wants.
Iron Man, what?
Or no,
I think he wants to.
He wants to like basically have Soups take over the world.
Yeah. And so I think that's what his plan is. I think he wants Kate and Sam to be part of the Super Army because in the boys comics, the whole arc is how him in a Super Army they take over the U.S. government, and there is a virus also in the comics. So I feel like we're going to see a combination of these viruses because like we don't know where Victoria Newman went with the virus, but I feel like Billy Butcher because in the post-credit scene of this episode, Billy Butcher goes to the woods and says, "Oh, you cunts."
Really?
then-
I didn't see
You
that.
didn't see the
I didn't see that
post-credit
post-credit scene.
He just walks into the
No,
woods
no.
and is just like, what a bunch of fucking yeah.
What a bunch of hippie dippy baloney.
Yeah, he says that.
And so I feel like he's going to do something with the virus in season 4. Homelander is going to create the super army, and because what I think, like what Kate and Sam ultimately proved that they're also very controllable themselves, because they're kind of just like, you know, Kate was controlled by the Dean for so long,
Yeah.
and Sam just being controlled by Kate, and so like I feel like he's going to use them for the super
I
army.
mean, I
Because
would be controlled
One
by
thing
her.
I
She's
do
hot as
want to
hell.
say that's kind of off topic. I think Ashley is like had a ton of funny jokes, at least in these past 2
That is
episodes.
true. Ashley is very
Like
funny.
when the director's knocking on the door, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna tell you what you did at the cancer event." She's like, "Fucking open the door, fucking right now." I thought that was
that's
funny,
pretty funny.
yeah.
That was very funny. No, her character has been
I
like
think
she appeared a little.
It feels like
she's a
someone
very
took-
main character by now.
She took on so much power and so much stress. She's like going fucking insane. It's so funny.
You know,
That's
in
kind of the
season,
whole- that's
in
like-
season 3, she's losing her hair completely.
Yeah.
And she has no hair. She's wearing a wig.
Yeah. And so what I think this definitely leads into season 4 of The Boys.
Yeah.
I feel like we might, because my thing is, so it says this can lead into season 4 of The Boys, then into season 2 of Gen V, and then season 5 of The Boys. Hopefully, that I didn't hear about
Okay,
anything
but
in season
let's
5.
talk about what happened to our characters at the end of Gen V, because I don't think we really
Yeah.
talked about it. They wake up
yeah,
in
so-
a padded cell with no doors.
'Cause-
Woods V2 is my thoughts.
No, earlier.
V.
So essentially, Homelander blasts Marie, and I thought, oh, this is a really interesting idea that Marie and the team just die, maybe, or something.
Yeah, I thought they were just gonna kill them. I was like, wow, are they really gonna end the show by just killing all of the characters?
But
Just
they didn't have
Rogue One
enough
it.
balls to do that. They
And
didn't
I
have
was
enough.
like, that's like, and I was like, that would actually, it's kind of a thing that the boys would maybe do.
But they didn't. They didn't go that far, which is kind of sad. But they have to have a season 2, and then I don't think they're going to reestablish the new.
I mean, they could have just had new characters for season 2.
I don't know. I don't think they're going to go that far. But I think a reason we can say maybe Marie survived was because of her blood powers. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe Homelander
Yeah,
went
that's
weak
the
on
one thing I
her.
don't understand, because
Yeah.
can he control what degree his laser vision
He
is?
does.
don't-
Remember when you remember when he does the
Right, because he can
milk?
just do the milk, yeah.
The milk
True.
thing in season 2 where he heats up the milk. And
True.
and so we see we saw that. I feel like he wanted to keep him alive to maybe augment the other soup's powers, because the way they did with Sam and Golden Boy to anyway, but earlier in the season, Marie sees at Red River a girl being taken to the Elmira facility
Yeah.
center, like it says on like a truck. So that's where I think they are at the current moment.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's probably better than mine.
And so we see
Where do you
that.
think they are? Basement of what?
And so I feel like what they're gonna go with season 4 of The Boys, they're gonna do something like they're gonna hype up tension. Homelander is gonna go crazy, maybe Soup Army. And in season 4, Homelander is like a cliffhanger. He's about to take he's about to go nuts. Season 5 is like
Let's go
him
nuts.
going nuts and the end of The Boys. And it's gonna be like maybe like a 1-part or 2-parter thing is my theory. And then season 2 of Gen V is going to be like the gang tries to get out of the facility they are in, and Kate and Sam have their own shit to deal with.
Yeah, do we
outside
have
of
a
it.
date
And,
for season 4? Because I'm actually really excited for it
I
now.
don't think so. I feel like it's still a bit preceded by the actors strike or something.
Okay, yeah, that's sad.
Not that.
Because they need to do
I know,
they need to do
I
press.
still think they should still be striking, but it's just sad that it had to be delayed.
Yeah, you know what's interesting is Hunger Games. The actors got like an interim agreement
Yeah.
to do press for the movie, which is interesting.
They probably had to
But
pay a
let-
ton for that.
So overall, I would say I really like this season. I feel like it kind of does better than what most superhero show does in some aspects. Like I really thought it really explored themes of teenagers and mental health and all that shit pretty accurately and pretty well portrayed. I feel like it's while its social commentary is a bit over the top, I feel like it portrayed it pretty well in some aspects. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But overall thoughts on the season, back?
I thought it was good, better than I thought it would be.
I think it
and
was,
it gets me
it was
really
actually,
hyped
it
for
was
season
much
4.
better than I thought it was going to.
I
Yeah,
think
no,
it builds
shows me
the
how-
threat of Homelander a lot better because there are people actually behind what he says.
Yeah.
And it also humanizes the soups a lot more because we see mostly all the
how
soups as
how they
bad
started.
guys.
Yeah.
But now we see there were a couple of good people still in there.
It's kind of showing cautionary tales, not cautionary tales, but how the superheroes become this way. It's like we're
Yeah.
seeing the A-Train in the deep before they become these predators and these malicious people.
Yeah.
You know? And so I've been really enjoying this season, and it reminds me how much I love The Boys, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, I might rewatch The Boys actually after watching this.
Yeah, no. Yeah. But Aiden, you haven't been talking a while, so I want to augment this with some adventure time for you.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I haven't watched recently.
Nikola.
Let me see if I watched. I watched maybe
Oh,
2
no.
episodes.
Okay.
So
No, you can
Nikola?
talk about you can talk about Invincible because I watched a couple things that I would like to talk about.
all right, yeah.
All right, let's talk
Talk
I
about
will say,
about
I will say I was gonna watch
Invincible.
Invincible, but I thought it came out next week. I was gonna binge it like next week before it came out, but I didn't do that. So I'm gonna try and watch season 1 and Adam Eve like this coming weeks.
All right,
yeah.
But
All right, let's talk about it.
guys.
Oh my god,
Wait,
guys.
what's the name
I
of the show
quite-
again?
I think it's called
In-
Invincible.
I'm gonna
Bro,
kill Invincible.
they like they
I knew it was gonna be at the very end,
bidded
and
it
they
out
just kept
so
doing it.
much.
Yeah. I thought it was gonna happen like the beginning with like the big mark on
Yeah.
on the big thing, but no, they kept delaying it, and then it's like at the end, the full blood of
But a
on the Invincible
crack
thing.
forms.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so, guys, what did you think about this episode? I thought it was a
I think
really
Crack
good
is gonna reveal his blue
Okay,
suit.
I think they
I
spent
think it was a
too
good
much
episode.
time on
Let me
the
give the
intro.
summary first. Let me give the summary first.
Yeah.
So it begins with Mark fighting Immortal for some reason. Why would they
Yeah.
do that? They're both good guys. And then he's like, "You're just so arrogant, like your father." Then all of a sudden, his arm falls off, and then Omni-Man shows up, and he's like, "Oh, it's you." And then
Oh,
he rips his head
it's
off, and Mark
you.
squishes his head, and they're like, wow. And then they were like, if he was here, they were probably leading us away, so we're probably close.
Yeah.
Then we get to let's see. Then it's the guy. He's walking around the city. You can see everybody's dying. They're playing the massive screen where it's Mark saying, "You are being saved. Please do not resist."
Yeah.
He then gets downstairs and he's like, "I got the fucking black
You
hole
got the null
gun
energy.
for you." The null energy that lets him just shoot black holes, basically. They show up. Mark and Omni-Man show up, and they're like, "Oh, found you." And then they start killing people, and Mark the entire time is chasing after Eve, and she's like, why would you do that? Like, stop running. While Omni-Man is just killing people, and he's killing like the robot guy, and the robot guy is like, you know, you could be a hero, and he's like,
Yeah.
you should have died at birth.
If it's not apparent by now, this is an alternate universe.
Yeah.
And,
No. Really? So yeah, and then
Wait, it's an alternate
and
dream
then
No,
Invincible
not a dream.
paralyzes. Then Invincible paralyzes
Eve.
Eve. And then Omni-Man was like, "Oh, so that's what you were practicing on the protesters last week."
Yeah.
And
Oh.
then he rounds up the rest of them, and he's like, "Well, all of you guys were part of the resistance, so we have to kill you now." Any volunteers? And then that one guy shows up, and he's like, "You guys aren't heroes." And he's like, "Oh, great, a volunteer." And then right before they kill him, a portal opens up beneath him, and he gets whisked away.
And they just don't care.
Oh.
Yep. And they're like, "Oh, okay, that's weird."
Now we kill the rest of them.
Then, yes, then follows our Mark in our
Yeah,
universe.
So
Our Marky
this my
boy.
first thing is that intro. It felt way too long for me for what it was actually building up in the episode.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I
it
think
just
so
felt
did.
so useless. Like it didn't contribute to the main plot at all.
Yeah.
They could have just had the I guess just the where they find Adam Eve part of it,
Yeah.
and like that could have been it. It didn't that much build up, but I mean it was good seeing Omni-Man because we didn't get
I just-
Omni-Man in this episode that
Yeah.
much, but it was an alternate Omni-Man.
That's all we got of Omni-Man this
So
episode.
Nikola,
yeah.
do you want to continue with the rest of?
Yep, and I'm gonna keep going. So then we go to Mark, and he's just like trying to help forget about his depression by just being by being invincible. He's just trying to like help people wherever he can, just do as much as he can to ignore it.
Yeah, and
Chicago's reeling.
yeah.
Everybody's telling him it's not his fault, but he feels like it's his fault.
And then
we
everybody
get to the
stares
Mahler
at him at
twins.
school because
Yeah.
they think his
They
dad
think his
died.
dad
I
died
think
in a
I think
gas
the
explosion,
I think
the
the
one that was
excuse
across
is
the
that his
street.
dad died in the Chicago thing. So
No, it's his dad died in a gas explosion from the house across the street that exploded.
Oh,
Yeah,
I forgot about that from season 1.
Yeah.
yeah, no.
And then we get to the Mahler twins. They're in prison. They're like the chicken pot pie guy, and that guy's like, "You guys fucking broke my neck last time. I am not I am not being nice to you anymore. And they're like, that was us being nice. We would have killed you if we didn't like you.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, fuck you. And then a portal opens up and they both get whisked away. And then they meet the new guy. This guy's from the comics, but I'm not going to talk about the comics because nobody cares.
Yeah.
He's like explaining to them, he's like, I'm a pacifist, but ends justify the means. I need to use your help for something. Mark keeps going around in school, talking to Amber, talking to people. Goes to Cecil and he says, I need to go out there. Cecil's like, no.
Yep.
And then there's the big man. Big man almost kills Robot, and Robot's like, holy shit, I could die. And then he has PTSD.
Yeah, so the new
the guys that
Guardians are like bad.
Yeah. Portal guy is, so then he invites Immortal to sharpen them up.
And a new guy called Bulletproof.
And Bulletproof,
Which kind of looks like an alternate Mark Invincible.
No, not really. It looks like an old suit.
Yeah.
Then we
only see
have
like 2 seconds.
Then we have again. Then we have him opening portals and showing him all the different universes and explaining his plan. And he shows all the other versions. And then we have Olga trying to get
do you want to
Betty to join a fucking pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
Basically, his plan is to go to get the knowledge of every single universe.
Levy.
So that he can go to every single universe and get technology and better his universe and then better all universes.
Which is a genuinely like good plan, and he sounds like genuinely a good person. So it felt bad seeing Mark fight him.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, he wasn't fighting him. He was only fighting the Maulers.
And so we
get to Olga and Betty, and Olga's like selling her a pyramid scheme for some reason. Keeps giving her that one black card but has like Morse code on it.
Yeah.
100% a pyramid scheme. I don't know what's going on with her.
You don't like pyramid schemes?
Nope.
But they have a funny shape.
So they're all hanging out.
Yeah, you don't like triangles?
Cecil finally is like, yeah, we need more leadership. And then Cecil invites Mark to go deal with that. They start the connection, and he's going in. And then he goes in, the Maulers start beating him up, and he's like, no, Mark, you need to stop. Don't destroy it. And he calls more Maulers. Maulers start absolutely bodying Invincible. I must say, for a character named Invincible, he seems to be bodied every single fucking episode.
He looked almost as bad as he did like when fighting Omni-Man. It was crazy.
Yeah. And then Victor Timely was like, I will not.
Yeah.
He's like, I will not. Victor Timely. He's like, I will not let my plan be built on the blood of innocent, on blood. And then he takes off his helmet and that causes everything to explode. He then leaves, and his mom's like, oh my god, and he's hanging out with Harper. They both get into college.
Harper.
They fuck
Amber.
Invincible. I mean, Immortal. Amber. I fuck Amber. She fucking sucks.
I'm like, wait, is that her name? I did not remember her name.
Immortal shows up and he's like, I don't trust you.
Okay, but I'd like to specifically talk about
and we get the post
credit scene
where the thing is destroyed. The Mauler twin, half the Mauler twin is burned, but he's fine. He's gonna probably clone himself again, even if the cloning machine's destroyed. I don't know how he's gonna make another one. Build another one. Yeah. And then he sees the fucking Victor Timely guy. I forget what the fuck is his name again? Angstrom Levy. Yeah, right. And he's like completely deformed, and his brain has like tripled in size, but he's also retarded now.
No, he's gotten super smart,
and he's gotten the memories of like all of these people, and these people,
some of them
and because he already explained that in most universes, Mark joined his dad.
Yeah.
Which is surprising.
I was shocked by that. I'm like, I do not think there's.
Maybe they'll explain like what makes this Mark different, like what in
maybe
this world
our Mark is
different.
just goaded. We have goaded Mark in our universe.
He's just built different.
Yeah.
Well, and then because he improperly merged with all of those memories, then he like imagines him, and he's like, I must get revenge. I must kill.
Yeah, and then it cuts to the yeah.
Because all through the show they kept doing like I guess you really are.
I'm just
invincible.
I'm gonna assume that like a lot of, since we spent so much time in the intro,
that's like basically all the stuff from the comics as well. So they're definitely following the comics.
I think
for the World War Mark,
because of like all the build up that the intro had of that one variant of the guy. I think that's the guy who's like has the most memory control or something, and he fucking hates Mark. So that's why like the main guy hates him now.
I
No,
think
I
so.
think I think that is the original guy that can open portals. That's why he's still open
no,
a portal.
no, it's not the original guy who can. It's a different because we saw that guy like we just saw him like when we saw the different angstrom levies. We saw it was like we saw the guy from the
The
intro.
guy from the intro is
'Cause
not
our-
the original. You can open portals.
No, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
That's I think the one that's all deformed is the one that can open portal. I don't think it's the
yeah.
original guy.
No, I'm
Because he
saying
opened the
I'm
portal.
saying the
I think he's just
mind.
merged with all the memories of the other guys.
I'm saying the
yeah,
mind.
yeah, but that's
But-
because most.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
the
because I think
guy
most
from
of them
the
have-
intro hates Mark so much that that's overpowering all the other memories.
Well, to be fair,
True.
they say most universes invincible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
join
what I
Omni-Man. So, but overall, I think for our first episode, it was good. I didn't expect this to be where they were going for this first episode. I
No,
know
they saw. I mean, season
I know
2,
what happens in the comics, but-
100% Rotten Tomatoes. And I was reading the reviews, and a lot of them say like, "Oh, it has a rough start, but then
Yeah.
it gets
There's
really
no
good."
big hook this season like there was in the first season. So,
Yeah. But I think the moment it gets good is when Mark goes back to meet with Omni-Man. I think that's going to be something that's going to
Or
happen.
maybe I think it's gonna be when he gets his new suit, once he gets the blue and black suit.
I think it's going to be when Omni-Man enters back into the picture. That's when it's going to get really good.
But
I
at the same
think.
time, you can see that the crack in like the Invincible scene is a dark blue. So I kind of feel like the last thing is gonna completely crack, and it's gonna be like his like new black and blue suit.
Yeah, maybe.
have you read the comics, Nikola? So
yeah,
he,
I haven't. I
he
kind
gets
of
a new suit.
not really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so.
And then basically the current timeline is this guy, the whatever Armstrong hates him,
Yeah.
and then he's basically gets him stuck in a different universe. He keeps trying to kill him
yeah.
until eventually he gets like all the marks from all the universes to fight. And basically we have Mark with all of the good marks and all of his side versus all of the bad marks. And that kind of destroys Earth for a little
Yeah,
bit.
that might because so here's how the seasons are getting planned out. We're gonna get 1 through 4 for like weekly, and then a break,
Yeah.
and then they're gonna do 4 more episodes. So I see like
But
this.
there is going to be a mid-season hiatus.
If they do, if they do like a World War Mark, I think that'd be really funny.
I mean,
So
it's
they're-
literally the comics.
So they're gonna do that, but they kind of shuffle things around a bit in the comics because there are some things that they're kind of condensing, which makes sense. It's in the comics.
Yeah, because
they're
the
putting
comics
on-
people don't. It's kind of the same with the boys. Is that
No,
like
I think
the boys
I
comics
think
aren't
the
as
Invincible
popular as
comics
like
are
the
better
show.
than the boys
Oh,
comics.
100%. Yeah.
But I feel like it's basically the same plot as the comics for most
Yeah.
part.
So far, at least.
But yeah. So I thought they were gonna start with an Omni-Man thing. I think they might save that for maybe next episode or maybe even the episode after that. But
No, I think he's gonna be like maybe even like the mid-season like finale.
maybe.
Mm.
I don't
But,
know. A big part of the season is him just recuperating from
Yeah.
Omni-Man. So I feel like they're not gonna bring him back for like a while.
I don't feel
Yeah,
like how
maybe.
he could come back without like the power
he
scaling to
always
come
comes
back.
back.
Like, bro, I do not think in like 1 month Mark can get enough power to actually like challenge Omni.
I mean, the whole thing with filter my DNA is that like the more he gets beat up, the stronger he gets.
Is that the
Yeah.
thing?
That is a thing from the comics.
Mm.
But
Like,
no,
that's
I
how
don't
the
think
DNA
it's
works.
gonna. I don't think they're gonna do a fight. I think it's just gonna be a conversation.
Yeah, they're
You know?
gonna talk it out like real men.
The funny thing
Yeah.
is, like, that's how it actually happens in the comics. After that,
Basically, he's like, yeah, I couldn't
Guys,
live on
but there
Earth,
are
so I went to this
hot
other planet to
dogs.
colonize it.
We don't.
Yeah,
No,
no.
he fucks ants. He fucks
Yeah.
insects, basically.
yeah, we're not gonna spoil it for you, but he does some. Okay.
That's not even a spoiler, really, because that doesn't really explain it well. But but kind of vaguely, he fucks ants.
So true.
Anyway, back. But for overall this episode, what did you think as a season premiere?
Good.
It was really good. Yeah,
Was there 3 episodes or was there just 1?
One.
No, just
there's
one.
only one.
Okay.
Once a
Because
week.
yeah. But as Beck, as you say, good.
Fuck up. I'm tired.
And so, I thought it was a solid premiere for the start. I don't think it engaged me as like maybe the first season premiere, but
Yeah.
I think its first season had a lot more to do in its first premiere because they were establishing the world. But I feel like we're definitely seeing now the darker sides of Invincible more. In the first season, they kind of like balanced the light with the dark, like regular superhero shenanigans with Omni-Man evil stuff, and now I feel like we're just going to head out into the evil stuff, which is when the comics get really good, and I'm excited to see where
Yeah.
the season goes.
I mean, it's hard to care about
yeah, and
all
I
the
can't wait for
college
the
stuff,
other-
you know?
I can't wait for
Yeah.
the other Viltrumites, but I feel like the other Viltrumites isn't like a thing after the World War mark. That's like season 3.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna move some things around, but I feel like this
Definitely.
show could probably. I think this show might go 7 seasons, something like that. You know, I could definitely see that.
It
big.
could.
Yeah,
That's funny.
there's a lot of. I think there's a lot to ground to cover with the comics. But yeah, and the comics was written by the same guy who made the Walking Dead comics. You know.
Ah, I did not know that. That's cool.
That's why there's a lot of there was the invincible characters inside the Walking Dead, like little minifigures.
Yeah,
Some of the characters had.
the guy who played Glenn in Walking Dead voices Mark. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So, is
And,
that all we have to talk about?
I have
Aiden
like
has
5
stuff to talk.
things.
Aiden's journey now.
All right.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. He's lying.
I have 5 things to talk about.
No, you're
I
lying.
got.
I have 5 things to talk about.
I got phones.
You got 2?
I got 2 phones, one for the bitches and one for the hoes.
Did you do that on purpose, Beck, or no?
Yeah, no. I'm just trying to celebrate
Okay.
your stuff's finally
Oh,
here.
okay. All right. So let's talk about John
Why did my
Mulaney
thing
first.
crash? Oh, there we go.
Let's go, Aiden. You got
Why is it
fireworks.
flashing so
Yeah.
much?
I
Epilepsy
watched
warning.
a lot of John Mulaney this
Why?
week
Who's that
because
guy?
I was tired. He's the comedian.
The comedian Beck.
Why
Oh,
would you
that he
subjugate
voices
yourself to that torture?
the ham guy.
Spider Ham.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty funny, and I was pretty tired, so it was pretty funny. I watched 3 stand-up specials.
Oh, I know what your
And-
other 2 things are.
I have 5 things.
I know what the other 2 things are.
Okay, so that was one thing. I mean, I would I recommend them? I don't know. Do you like stand-up comedy?
No.
Well, Beck watches
Shut the fuck,
late
dude,
night
I'm
with John
fucking-
Olive or
So
stuff.
I will. How do I do the gun? How do I do the gun background? I need to shoot her.
Yippee, I only have to play 337
Hey, Mac.
games at least just to get this one plane.
That's crazy. Another thing I watched. How many of you guys like when like Disney Plus or HBO releases like a documentary type thing about their own stuff? Do you watch it?
Oh, the
I
Beatles
sometimes do,
thing,
kind of
right?
like the
Or
making
no?
of.
That's not what I watched.
Oh, was it
Kind of like the
Inside
making of
Attraction?
stuff.
Yeah, I watched 2 episodes of the new season of Inside the Attraction. There's one about Pirates of the Caribbean and one about Big Thunder Mountain.
Nice.
Yeah.
Whoa, so what's the history? Give me a brief synopsis.
So here I'll tell the Big Thunder Mountain one because that one's far more interesting.
Can you hear
Basically,
my
when
heart?
Florida was
Can
when
you hear my
Disney World Florida was being built, they were like, guys, we can't do pirates because Florida is really close to, so we're not going to do pirates. So let's do a Western themed land, like a big ass Western themed land.
Mm.
And then people got mad and were like, hey, where the fuck is pirates? Why isn't it in Florida? So then they're like, shit, we got to go make pirates. So then the Western thing got scrapped. And then they built it in California. And then they're like, wait, shit, we should build it in Florida. And something funny about that is that they are the same exact ride, except they're mirrored.
Yeah.
So you take a lot of left turns on in one place, you take a lot of right turns in the other.
It'd be
Which
fun.
one is in our place?
We have the one in
The left
California.
turn?
I don't
Yeah,
remember.
so we have the left. Oh
I
my
think
god,
I-
do you even watch the show?
I don't know. I did watch the show. There's a lot of other cool things, like the one in Paris is actually on its own
Fuck
island.
Paris.
And you
Who's
go
in Paris?
and you go underwater, and then you come out
I
onto the
hate
island,
French people.
which is very cool. And they talk about the goat trick.
What's the goat trick?
The goat trick. So there's a curve in Big Thunder Mountain in California where if there's a goat, his name is Billy, and he has a dynamite stick in his mouth. And when you see him, you want to turn your full body towards him while you go around this to get as maximum amount of G-force as you can.
That's
So they talk about that a little bit, which is cool.
Why don't we have a Disney vlog?
I don't know.
we don't have the money.
I would love. I would love to. I have the money.
Well, once
I'll
our GoFundMe picks up,
yeah. I don't that
or if you sponsor us, I guess.
they also talk about like the stories behind like the lore behind the
Oh,
rides.
I love the lore.
The lore. I think
Lore.
it's so funny that they give Disney rides lore.
I mean, they kind of do. It's just called history.
No. I mean, like they actually have lore and stories behind them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's called history.
No, you
No, like
fucking
Haunted Mansion,
no.
like stuff like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, fuck
Yeah,
you.
like like they have history.
No,
No,
fuck
no.
you. Listen to what I have to say. So,
So basically, they have history, right?
no. So the plot of Big Thunder Mountain basically is that there's this guy and he's like,
That's just
"I'm-"
history.
No, and he's like, I'm rich and I want money, and he's part of like the Society of Adventure and Explorers. That
What about this is not historical?
Because it's not real.
Yes, it is.
Nicholas, shut
That's
the.
why they made the ride.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Have you watched the ride?
What?
Have you read about the history of the ride?
The fuck
Clearly,
is
you
it,
haven't watched
Nikola?
the movie. Clearly,
Oh
you haven't
my
watched the movie.
God, Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the next thing. Rick and Morty. There were 2 Rick and Morty episodes.
Rick
I've
Morty.
seen it.
Rick
Now,
Rick
or
Morty.
you can participate. Which
Okay.
one do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about the president one, or do you want to talk about the other one?
The president's
Jer-
back
Jerry one.
again?
Yeah,
He
or do you
always
want to talk
comes
about the
back.
Jerry one?
So, I'm gonna.
Is there always
Yeah.
a president and a Jerry
That's-
episode each season? I feel like that
I don't
always
know.
happens.
I like
mean,
Jerry.
that's it.
I like Jerry though.
I like the president.
I don't like the president.
I like the president.
He's just
I
Obama.
don't
Why does
care.
he have more than 4 terms or more than 2 terms?
Because time
No, I'll
works
talk
differently.
about
in Rick and
I'll talk
Morty.
about the Unity one. You can talk about Ricky.
All right, so the Jerry one is like, "Hey Rick, you don't use your brain enough," and he says, "I don't use my brain enough." So they do a mind.
No,
Which is different than a
fucking
brain.
way.
They do a mind swap, and then they kill themselves. So then the computer puts them back together, but puts Jerry's mind brain and Rick's mind brain. So then they become 2 different people,
Yeah.
and then they run
But
away
it's
together.
like kind of like a mix of 2 different people. So essentially, they become kind of like best kind of friends because like
Yeah.
it's a mix of both people.
Yeah, so then they become two different
This
people. Their
sounds
names are burgers.
terrible.
They're burgers and fries. No, it's actually really good. It is a good episode.
Is
Is
this
it good?
actually so far? Is this a good season?
Yeah,
I think so.
yeah. So then they
Can't wait
burger
till it
and
comes out for
fries
free
goes
on
and do things,
Max.
and then the mafia kidnaps their family. So then they have to become Jerricky, which is
Which is
both, which is like a fusion of them together. And then they leave again.
Vegeta.
But then
You're
they
not
don't.
Vegeta. I'm Vegeta.
But
Yeah.
the episode was good. I enjoyed it.
You know, it was quite interesting, kind of like seeing exploration of the Jerry and Rick relationship because we sometimes get that in like episodes like last season with the fortune cookie
I
and
like
like
that episode.
the Whirly Dirly conspiracy. So it's always fun seeing their relationship together because like they always have a really unique one where it's kind of like hatred towards each other, but it's like one where I think like Jerry is always the one who kind of stands up to Rick in some aspects, so he's not really afraid of Rick in some ways. And Rick knows how pathetic Jerry is, so it is interesting to see how the relationship
And we
works
know
in some ways.
Jared was able to live by himself as soon as he let go of
Jared?
everyone.
Who's Jared?
Yeah, Jared. That's
Jerry.
my coach. Jerry, yeah.
And so it's very interesting to see the
Yeah, he's
relationship.
able to live by himself up until he got his throat slit, but
Yeah,
What the
I mean
fuck
that
are you
was
talking-
prime Jerry.
Yeah.
exactly. No, that's Jerry C-130. That was Prime
No.
Rick that killed him.
No, that is Prime Jerry.
Yeah, that's prime
Yeah.
Jerry.
But that's like Morty's.
Yeah, Morty is Prime Morty.
Fuck yeah.
What do you mean,
Okay,
fuck?
and- Guys, you and Nikola are having some beef
Why do you
today.
never accept the fact that you're just wrong?
Because I'm not wrong.
Like
Guys,
you
this episode is gonna be
are.
called Aiden and Nikola have a beef. Guys, I can't believe you saved that beef. I can't believe you guys healed your beef right now.
Wow, it's so good to find common ground.
Yeah. All right.
But then I'm just saying it's nice to see the Jerry and Rick relationship. But moving on to the next episode, it was a
guys,
kind of
the
an interesting one.
president of the United States launches a nuke at the Rick and Morty residence,
Biden
and Rick
Bros.
must
It's
disarm the
true.
nuke on the way there. But
Not
Rick
how
and
you
Morty
guys
has
watch
to
it, but
talk
I
to his
can't.
girlfriend while doing it. So there's a bunch of interpersonal
That's not-
drama there.
That sounds like the AI
I hate that that
version.
sounds like it's an actual episode.
Am I wrong? Wait, is this not the plot?
No.
No.
Guys, you're gonna start
Fuck,
beef.
I was so
Don't
close.
do that.
Beck, that sounds like an AI version of an Write Me a Rick and Morty episode.
Yeah,
It
fucking
genuinely sounds like a
randomly
Rick and
thought
Morty
of it.
episode. So that's so funny.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Beck, essentially in this episode, the president, as we all know, is a big character on the show, and he calls up Rick, and that's the intro. He calls up Rick to do shit, and then
Rick is in therapy.
oh yeah, Rick isn't. But we saw that in season 6.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
because
Rick's in-
Unity's there too, right?
Yeah, and so Rick, so he's in therapy,
Right.
and then like the president needs some help with him with a situation in Virginia, and then he's all like he gets the hots for Rick's therapist, Dr. Wong, and
Who?
Dr.
The
Dr.
Wong.
Wong.
therapist.
No, but like who gets the
Are you
hots?
with
President, the
me,
president.
Dr. Wu?
Oh fuck! Isn't she
Are
not human?
No,
That's
she's
the
human.
shadow
No, she's
of
not.
the
It's been proven
man
multiple times that she's
that I
not human.
once knew.
What are you
When?
talking about?
Like, remember they did a scan of the building and like she wasn't human. It was like marked her as not human.
I-
And then the car was like eliminate all like save all humans and the shrink. And then also like
I
Unity
don't-
didn't kidnap her.
What are you talking
Huh?
about, Nikola?
It's like a theory that she's
Clearly
a
you guys
robot.
haven't watched the show. Clearly
I-
you guys haven't watched the history.
Oh my god, I am gonna throw
I don't
Nikola out
want to
the
learn
window.
about history. I want about
we were supposed to. Guys, we were supposed to heal this beef. The beef wasn't
What
healed.
beef? I'm just saying facts.
I hate this
Anyway.
Nikola says misinformation arc that he's having right now.
I love spreading misinformation. Holy shit.
Nicola.
Okay, and so essentially he gets like the hospital, the therapist. They go into Virginia. It turns out it's Unity's controlled the population of Virginia, and then
But we don't care about
It turns
Virginia,
out she-
do we?
It's fucking
Nah.
Virginia.
and so essentially
I mean, we're Californians. We can't
Yeah.
really say anything.
the
Oh,
reason
California.
why Unity went to Rick to Virginia in the first place because she's worried about him. He's trying to go after Prime Rick again. And he's like, I'm worried about you. Why didn't you respond to my calls? I know I dumped you. And he says, I don't trust you. And so then,
Wow.
which I mean, I think Rick is probably right to
That's
do because she did
cold.
dump him in a big way. But I mean, he should have responded back to her. But yeah, he does that, and then she decides to.
Actually, he should no contact.
And so then he does, so she kind of leaves like the bodies in kind of like I don't know, like a state that allows anybody who will spit into their mouths to control. And so the president takes over the state of Virginia, and then Unity and the therapist, they both have to, and Rick, they all have to stop the president. And because like the therapist convinces the Unity to help Rick, because even after he says he doesn't trust her, and she even says this to Rick plainly, I don't think you're worth it, which is not something a therapist should say.
Yeah.
But
Wow, really?
yeah. And so then
That's why she's not a therapist. She's a shrink.
So
and
true.
so then and so
I'm
then
just saying facts. I'm just
then
saying.
the episode ends with they manage to stop the president, and the president's all like, because in this entire episode, like a bunch of a news lady has been keep making fun of him, and he's being very self-conscious about LaRonda on the news makes fun of me. Fuck, I'm so,
Fuck.
like a
No, it's fine. Fuck. Fuck. No, it's fine. Fuck.
And then the episode ends with like he says because she has to move her presence outside of 8 million bodies, and that hurts her, kind of like how Kate, when she pushes,
Yeah.
hurts her energy, and so it's kind of the same thing. And then Rick says, I trust you now, good, because I don't trust you anymore. And then he leaves. And then he
No.
listens to the voicemails Unity left him and says, Rick, I you want to hang out sometime? And then Rick, cards on the table. I know you're going after that guy again. Rick, just come on, call me. I'll be in Virginia. And then he's all like, oh, fuck. Because he could have stopped it the whole time. And then he gets up, and then he goes to meet the president, and the president's all like, Rick, I don't mean to offend you, but I think I need therapy. And then
I got
That's how
a
the episode ends.
therapist for you.
So true.
And so, and then, oh yeah, she gets the hots for him. He gets the hots for the therapist the entire episode.
It's
But he's
true.
all like, the therapist all like, I don't want to continue to engage with you. And then she kind of like leaves him. And so I like this episode. I think it might have been my favorite of the season so far. I think it brought back the Unity subplot. But a disturbing storytelling trend that I've had with these first three episodes is that where is Morty? Where the fuck is Morty in these 3 episodes? It's Rick and Morty, not Rick and the fucking president, not Rick and Squanchy, not Rick and Jerry. It's Rick and Morty.
Yeah, where is he? I want to hear his new voice.
Only Morty in the next 3 episodes to balance it out.
Maybe. Guys,
Maybe.
speaking of new voices, I have something else I have one more thing to talk about.
We were not talking
Well,
about
it's
new
two
voices.
things. I'm talking about
Oh wait,
Mario Wonder.
that's
and-
crazy. Uri has
So,
no idea
it
what the
came
fuck
out,
that
like-
is.
What?
I cannot hear
A
him.
new Mario game came out. It's called Mario Wonder.
And
I got sick with, we presumed COVID, but it wasn't COVID.
Yeah.
I'm
So
getting
I-
sick here.
But
Everyone's getting
I
sick.
stayed home from work, and on the weekend the game came out, which means I got to play it the whole weekend, and it's really good.
Game of
It's-
the year.
No, it's not Game of the Year because
Baldur's
sure other
Gate
games have
3
come out that-
won Game of the Year
It's
by
gonna
so
be-
much.
Like, look,
Yeah, I
It's- yeah,
understand.
but
You're
it could be
giving like
Tears of
everyone a
the
seizure.
Kingdom.
can't wait.
Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom. The
Tears
other
of the
one.
Hey,
Kingdom.
is it even the
Week.
best Nintendo game of the
Spider-Man
year? Is
2.
it better than Tears of the Kingdom?
Yeah, it is.
Oh wow, fuck.
Back, I'll
Is
give
it
it to
better
you.
than
I'll give it to you
Spider-Man
once I
2?
100% it.
I actually do want to play it, so do send it to me, or I'll
I
pick it
will
up.
yeah, I'll just.
Is it better than
give-
Spider-Man 2?
Yeah,
I
he hasn't-
don't know. I
I
haven't played
actually
Spider-Man.
beat Spider-Man 1. I do not get why people praise the story in that. It wasn't like that good.
No, the gameplay is really good.
Yeah.
it's no way. Is it no way home?
It's like
Whoa!
it's definitely not as good as like the film, but it's like kind of boring. Well, it has good set pieces though. So
Yeah. But I think I was playing it a lot. I'm trying to 100% it, but it's a really good game.
yeah.
And then the other game that I want to talk about also relates to changing voices because Mario and Luigi both got new voices, but so did Wario, and he got a new game. And it's WarioWare Move It.
Mini
Move It.
Metro.
So there's this game, right? This is WarioWare Smooth Moves. It came out for the Wii, and it uses motion controls. And WarioWare is all about little micro games, right? You had like 3-second little mini games.
You may
So,
know from the
the new
Super
game-
Smash Brothers Brawl stage.
Of course. So they're in the new game, instead of having just the Wii remote, you have the Joy-Cons. You have both the Joy-Cons, and you do moves. Like, so you'll have one where it's like you need to hold the Wii remote like remotes 2 together like this. You need to put 2 of against your face like this. You do one where you stand like this. And I popped the hell off because that one's in WarioWare Smooth Moves. The game is really short. It's like 2 hours long. I beat it when I got it. I had a blast the entire time. The game is really fun.
How's the voice changes?
Wario's, it was tough. It wasn't the best.
Ooh.
And I think he could have done better, but I got more used to it over the course of the game. I don't know. But the game was fun.
Great.
And I'll continue to play it probably tonight, maybe.
Great. Okay. Anyone have any final things? I have one thing I want to talk about.
Let's hear
Is
it
it
back.
Severance?
No,
Let's hear it back.
I'm not. I
That would be
did.
Severance.
I'm just gonna.
Let's hear
I'm
it
just gonna
back.
literally just say the titles of the thing I watched and then my one topic. I watched the Severance finale. It's really good. I pray season 2 comes out soon. I watched Blade Runner.
Yeah, wait. I
The
want to
guy is
see. I want
literally
to
me.
tell.
You watched Blade Runner with Ryan Gosling?
Yeah, Blade Runner 2049.
I drive.
But
Yeah.
not the
I wanna-
original one?
I want to read a text that Beck sent me after the
Oh,
watching
yeah,
the
you
Severance
can.
finale.
This was 1 a.m.
So
I
he's-
was staying up late on a school night to finish the show.
I am going to kill whichever executive is holding up the actors' strike. That is such a fucking big cliffhanger. What the fuck? I need more.
Yeah.
So true, Beck. So true.
Yeah. Blade Runner was good. I watched 3 episodes of Adventure Time, not enough to talk about. I watched
I have
the
not watched any
GME
Adventure Time,
movie.
yeah.
They did play WAP during it, which was very out of
Oh shit! I watched one more movie. So
and then I watched Wolf of Wall Street, which I thought was pretty good.
Yeah.
I watched the
Solid
Captain
movie.
Underpants movie. I totally forgot I did that. It still is good.
Great.
Like we said on episode 50.
Okay.
It is still a good.
Now,
But is it
the
like
one thing
100%
I do
Rotten
want to
Tomatoes
talk
good?
about
Okay, let's
is
hear it, Beck.
one of my guilty pleasure movies has been announced for a 3rd one. They have announced Now You See Me 3 is moving forward.
I thought they had
I
way
did
more
see
than
that.
Now You See Me, Now You Don't with film.
They have Now You See
I
Me
did see that.
1, they have Now You See Me 2, and now they're making a 3rd one. And I'm really
I
excited
could have sworn they had
because
more.
those
I
movies
honestly
remember that.
are really stupid but also really fun to watch.
I have seen the first movie, and I did enjoy the first movie. And
Yeah.
I
Is
think
that
I've
the one
seen
where
this.
they're like doing magic tricks
Yeah,
to
it's
like
like they
steal
do
money?
like such unrealistic magic tricks. And
Oh yeah, because we've talked about this before in the podcast, but it's really funny scene where Morgan Freeman just goes into like a cabinet
he just
and
goes
he's
into
like,
a coffin
"Gone."
and disappears, and the guy isn't just like, maybe if I go in the coffin, I'll go where he is. He's like, you are moved. I'm like, the fuck you doing?
Who
And
knows?
they're all like, there's a scene where they go to China and they're like, I don't think they call
What?
I think they call Chinese food here food. And then that's
I
really
don't
funny.
remember that scene.
So true.
But
So true.
I they did get Daniel Radcliffe to play one of the main
That's-
guys, which I thought was pretty funny. Or like one of the main villains.
Wait,
too.
what? Oh, okay, I was like, I don't remember him.
He was
being
he was
in the
one of the
movie.
main villains of 2.
I thought the
Okay.
main villains are just the police.
No. And 1 also has the stupidest twist I think I've ever seen in a movie. Where like
It's
Where the
they're
guy's
the
a-
4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
no, bro. The fucking FBI agent that's been going after them the entire movie, even when no one's
Actually-
around and chasing them, turns out he was actually working with them. The fuck? It was such a dumb
Of course.
Yeah.
twist.
In hindsight, these movies are really stupid, but when I watched them for the first time as a kid, I was like, this is the best movie
It is
ever.
such-
I was like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah, it's
They're-
like
they're really
this dumb
entertaining.
action entertaining movies.
I think they call food.
Oh, I swear, I've
Chinese
seen
food,
that clip. You know
food.
where like they throw the cart around between them and they hide from the security guards? I've seen that like every time, you know, there's like magician reviews clips from movies, car dealer review. Every single time they have that fucking same clip and they all say this is the dumbest thing I've seen in my entire life.
It's such a cool scene.
It is
though.
such a cool scene, but like it is
But-
none of that is
Yeah.
possible practically.
Yes,
You know
it
what's
is.
funny? In like I think in the one of the beginning scenes of 2, they show like this clip where they're essentially doing a trick on one of these guys,
Yeah.
and then they show like a scene where they're just fucking stalking this guy where he's like where he works and all that shit to prep for this
Yeah.
showing. And it's like you're just stalking the fucking guy.
Yeah.
How's this magic?
It's just a
What do you
lot
mean?
of planning.
Yeah. But,
I've definitely seen that kind of like we stalked you magic on like what is it called? America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
I've definitely seen it there.
Mm,
Have you guys watched America's Got Talent?
not
before?
really.
Yes,
I've seen
I've watched
clips though.
America's Got
It feels so.
Talent.
It literally just like is exactly that that one Black Mirror episode. Or
It's
if
very
you know what I'm
interesting
talking about.
conceptually.
I don't know.
That one where like they have to like
but-
bike on the bike to get the points.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It just feels like that every time
think
I
it's
like
like the-
see it. I think of that, and I'm like,
I think
this
that's
is
the
just
only
dystopian.
Black Mirror episode I've ever watched.
Yeah.
Is that when is that when she becomes a porn star?
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
I mean, it's not like
yeah.
that in real life, but it's like an allegory for like people just get fucked after being on the show.
Not an allegory.
Literally.
All right. Well, I think
Um,
that ends this episode.
I think we're good.
Oh, true.
Remember,
So always give a
Always-
recommendation though.
Recommendation.
yeah.
Now You See Me 2. Or the first one.
No way. That's crazy. Vic.
Guys, always
Okay.
use Celsius. We will see you next
Always
week.
use
always
podcast.
use
Bye.
Celsius.